Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is December the 21st. There are, I think it's 6 games in the NBA for today, 6 or 7 games in the NBA for today. I found a couple looks, so I figured I'd do a show. I know yesterday I talked about potentially not doing a show. It's actually 7 games today. I found a couple looks though. It is some heavy favorites today, so we'll get into it. We'll break it down. As always, we start with a recap. Yesterday was a nice little 2-0 in one day. We bet Houston. I gave you guys that one on the money line minus the one. It didn't really matter what number you got. And we bet the under. And that was also a winner. The push was Paul George, ended up being refunded for Paul George under 16.5 points. Love the read. Coming off the 33-minute game against the Knicks, kind of felt like he may not play. He did not. But if he was going to be out there, I was going to fade him. I think the short list that I put on the screen yesterday was 5-2. I know we talked about a lot of things that hit. I told you guys I like Scotty Barnes over his rebounds. If Jakob Poeltl was out, he was out. Scotty Barnes finished with 10 rebounds. Emmanuel quickly shot 1 for 7 from the three-point line, so it's over 2.5 threes. I thought it was a really good look, and I still think it was a good look. He just couldn't make any. Jamal Shead was the other disappointment under his 14.5 points and assists. It's something that we talked about, but then the rest, everything else that we talked about was a winner. Cooper Flagg over his points was a winner. The over between Utah and Orlando, even without overtime, was a winner. So yeah, we hopefully we could strike again like that today, man. I got 2 bets that I want to share with you guys, and we're gonna do just that. We're gonna jump into it for today. So let's go, man. Let's go. Steven real quick says Bucks plus the points, letdown spot for the Timberwolves. Ayo says, Parlay says, Ayo, let's go. I got some plays today. Let's get into it. So first up, we'll start with JaXon. JaXon has actually been pretty cold recently. 1-3 in the last 4 bets for JaXon. Yesterday, JaXon liked the Lakers minus the 1, ended up being a loser. Luka ended up getting hurt. Lakers ruled out Rui Hachimura. Lakers get smoked. And then JaXon like the over 228.5. I don't even think it got to 200 to 210 points yesterday between the Lakers and the Clippers. So that was a loser. 0-2 day for JaXon yesterday. Today, JaXon likes the New York Knickerbockers minus the 7. JaXon likes the Sacramento Kings and the Houston Rockets under the 224. So let's go through those individually. So the first one is the New York Knicks. It says this pick is driven by the massive disparity in the current team's health, the Knicks' elite efficiency, and the dominant home court advantage against this specific opponent. So the New York Knicks are operating at an elite level this season, ranking 4th in the league in net rating at a plus 7.7. Their offense is particularly potent, ranking 3rd overall in offensive rating at a 121.3. They're projected to finish the season with 59.8 expected wins, ranking them 4th in the NBA. The Heat, while generally a strong team, they're 10th in net rating at a plus 2.3, are currently in a severe slump, winning just 1 of their last 7 games. Their offense suggests offensive struggles are compounded by a lengthy injury report that includes players like Davion Mitchell, Andrew Wiggins, Tyler Hero, Larson, Nikola Jovic. And then it says, while the Heat boast the top 5 defensive rating of 111.7, which is 4th, the Knicks offense is simply too efficient, especially at home. The Knicks are also one of the slowest paced teams in the league, 99 possessions per 99 in pace, which is 26, which allows them to dictate the tempo and grind out possessions, limiting the Heat's ability to generate easy offense. So there's news and trend synthesis, which says the home court dominance. The Knicks are phenomenal at Madison Square Garden, boasting 13 wins in 15 games. Crucially, they have beaten the Heat in 6 straight at MSG. Betting trends: New York has been reliable. Has been a reliable bet recently, going 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 games. The Knicks are coming off what was described as a scheduled loss against the 76ers, and they are expected to deliver a strong bounce-back performance. They're motivated to get revenge from an earlier season loss to the Heat, and will not want to fall to 0-2 in the regular season series. So then there's Heat woes. The Heat's offense struggles are significant. In the absence of key players, due to injury, will make it incredibly difficult for them to keep pace with the New York Knicks' third-ranked offense. So the combination of the Knicks' elite efficiency, their strong ATS performance, and the Heat current injury crisis, and offensive slumps make the Knicks -7 the most confident spread bet on the board for today. As far as the total goes, under 224.5, it looks like it's available on BetMGM right now. So it says that this pick is based on extreme defensive mismatch and the Kings' recent abysmal scoring output. So I actually got this in my notes as well. A lot of this. It says the Houston ranks fifth in defensive rating, 111.8, second in net rating, 9.3, and the Sacramento Kings are 29th in offensive rating, 108.5, defensive rating of 119. 119. Pace versus defense, while Sacramento plays at a fast pace, they're ninth. Houston plays at one of the slowest pace, 28th. Houston's slow, methodical approach combined with their suffocating defense will severely limit Sacramento's offensive scoring opportunities. Sacramento scoring drought. So the Kings are the lowest scoring team in the league in their last 10 games, averaging just 105.3 points per game. They managed only 93 points in their last outing against the Trailblazers. So then this recent head-to-head, that game only finished with 216 points when it was played in early December. The current line is 224.5. The Kings struggle. The Kings are currently on a 5-game losing streak, struggling severely to put points on the board, especially without Zach LaVine. Their offensive efficiency is ranked 29th in the NBA. They're facing the Houston team that's built on defensive strength, blah, 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 blah. So under on the Kings and in the Houston Rockets game. And that total came down from 233. So a lot of money coming in on the under in that spot. And it makes so much sense, man. I'm just mad I missed the best of the number last night. All right, so those two looks for JaXon today. Knicks -7 and Houston, Sacramento under the 224. Let's jump into it. So first up, we got the Chicago Bulls in Atlanta today. Looks like this line opened last night at about 4, and money has come in on Atlanta. This is up to 5.5 on a couple books. I see a 5.5 on DraftKings, on BetMGM, ESPN Bet, and still mostly 5s out there, but 5.5. I looked at the injury report. Chicago does have Kobe White listed as questionable. Maybe that's why they, the money's come in on Chicago in this spot. I'm sorry, on Atlanta in this spot. Kobe White is listed as questionable. Ayo Dosunmu is listed as probable. Jalen Smith is also listed as probable. On the Atlanta side of things, Porzingis still continues to be out. Trae Young missed that second leg of that back-to-back against San Antonio in the last game, but he is going to be back in today's game. So Atlanta getting a little bit more healthier. As far as the total goes, I saw it open at 246. It is up to 244. It is up to 247, 247.5. So makes sense. A lot of money coming in over. Chicago. So looking at Chicago has not been great, right? They are what are they? They actually pretty bad in their last 10 games. I don't think I wrote it down when I was looking at it last night. I thought I did write it down. But they're only 5-9 straight up on the road, only 6-8 against the spread on the road. In their last 10 games, they're just 3-7. That's what it is, 3-7. But they have won back-to-back games. They beat the Cavs in both games. They covered 3 of their last 4 games as well. They got the win and the cover in Charlotte by 0.5 point also. And they're 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games, even though the last game with Cleveland did go over. So then I look at Atlanta. This is not a great team for whatever reason at home. Atlanta's just 4-8 against the spread at home. Second straight home game. They've lost 3 of their last 4 and 6 of their last 8. So Atlanta is kind of going through a little bit of turmoil right now. The way I think about this game, Atlanta does have instant revenge from, I think it was the first game of the season when they lost to Chicago, or second game of the season. I think Atlanta lost to Toronto first. But the way I think about this game, man, I just kind of look at Atlanta laying points, and I'm not laying with Atlanta. If Kobe White's playing, then I'll be on Chicago in this spot. I was thinking about this game last night, and then I was reading about it. Chicago, Coach Billy Donovan said something that I thought was really important. He says, I think we've gotten a bit more chemistry inside our team since we've gotten our guys back. And I think that's a big part of for Chicago. Chicago, had all those guys on the injury report. Kevin Huerter was out. He's back in Atlanta tonight. We know, he likes to go crazy against his old team. So you got Kevin Huerter back. You got Isaac Okoro back. Ayo Dosunmu. I think if Kobe White plays, I will be on Chicago in this spot. Atlanta is not a team that I want really laying points. I look at Chicago as a dog. They are 5-2. If they're a road dog specifically, 5-2 against the number. Atlanta's 5-9 against the spread as a favorite. We just talked about this in the last, I think it was whoever they were laying points to last. 5-9 against the spread as a favorite. 0-5 against the spread if they're a home favorite. I just need Kobe White in. So, that's the way I kind of see the game. It'd be Chicago plus the points for me or nothing. As far as player props goes, I will go to outlier quickly. the one that just jumps immediately off the page to me is, let me just minimize myself so you guys can see it. It's Jalen Johnson, man. Jalen Johnson should be in a nice little bounce back spot. Now, Atlanta in their last game, we lost on the over because they legit just couldn't score basketball. They finished with less than 100 points in that game against San Antonio. And Jalen Johnson did not do well. You can see he only had 24 points. But specifically what I was looking at was his rebounds and assists. And it's pretty high. It's 18 and a half. That's a pretty high number. But I mean, it's high for a reason. Look at this. On the season, he's averaging 22. He's over in 6 of his 7 games this season when he's had at least 15 rebound chances and 14 potential assists versus teams that are in the bottom half of the league and rebounds allowed. And we know that Chicago allows the 5th most rebounds. You can see that right here. They also bottom 10 in assists allowed. He's over in 13 of his 24 games this season as well, like just in general. That's good for 54% also. And 8 of his last 9, which you can see that right here. 8 of his last 9 right here. So yeah, I like Jalen Johnson in this spot. I didn't bet it. Didn't bet it yet, but that's the one player prop that makes the most sense. I'm expecting Jalen Johnson to go out there, grab all the boards, continue to have the offense run through him. Trae Young will still be limited in his minutes as well. This will only be a second game back. So, yeah, I would be playing on Jalen Johnson in this spot. I also considered, like, just for a minute, Zachary Reese-Shea. Reese-Shea gets a pretty good matchup just because the Bulls give up a bunch of points in transition. And that's where he scores a lot of his points, is right at the rim, in transition, restricted area. He's listed at 9.5. Just Trae Young coming back, I think, throws off a little bit of the rotation for like players like him, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Krejci, I think is how you pronounce it. So I didn't play it, but yeah, Zachary Reese-Shea would be who I would be looking at in this game outside of Jalen Johnson. Let's see what you guys are thinking, and we'll move on to the next. What up, Peasy? My guy, appreciate you for tapping in. Parlay says, I'm taking the Heat and the Kings on the spread Sunday. Crazier things have happened in the NBA. So I'm glad you mentioned this, Parlay. I'm actually going to share something that I was looking into this earlier this morning. See if I can find it real quick. I was looking at favorites on Sunday, double-digit favorites on Sunday. Let's see. Yeah, so favorites, so double-digit favorites, double-digit road favorites specifically on Sunday are actually about break even, about 52% against the number dating back to 2019. More recently, we've actually seen some success. Like if we just look at since the start of last season, it's been a little bit stronger. So I wanted to look at this too, specifically on Sundays, because we always talk about how Sundays are kind of weird. 4-2 against the number. These teams are winning. So if you land double digits, typically they're winning by about 17 points on an average of about 16 point line. Hold on, let's see. No, my apologies. That was not the. It's still kind of updating. Okay, my fault. No, that's not right. All right, so road favorites since the start of last season, laying double digits on a Sunday are 2-4 against the number. So they haven't been covering. They went about average of 4 points. Hold on, this can't be right. This equals greater than equal to 1. There we go. Okay, so they are 4-2. I'm right. 4-2 straight up. 4-2 against the spread. 6-0 straight up. They win about average of 17 points per game. So this would suggest that we do see, some coverage. The Rockets are laying a big number today. The Spurs are laying a big number today. 4-2 against the number. 4-2 to the under as well. And it's really the defense that really steps up. It looks like out of these 6 games, the opponent that's the dog is struggling to score. They're 4-2 to the under on their team total in these games. So take that information, do what you want. Douglas says, haven't caught you live in a minute, but thanks for all the info you've been giving, bro. Let's get it, homie. Appreciate you, Douglas. Appreciate that for sure. Let's see. I didn't know you were doing a show. Let's get it. Yeah, I just figured let's do it. Andrew says Adrian says he disagrees. He likes Hawks minus 4.5. What up, Scotty? Chicago, Atlanta land points at home. No, thank you. Yeah, I'm with it. 7 Figure says Hawks have oh man, has schizophrenia. I'm on the Bulls plus the 5. Yeah, that's the only way I'll be right there with you, 7 Figure. I need Kobe White in though. Kobe White, I think he's going back-to-back games where he's done a lot of scoring. And if he's not going to play, that's a lot of points that Chicago's going to be missing, in my opinion. What's up to my guy Mark? Hope all is well out in Texas. And let's keep it moving. Next game up is the Raptors and the Nets. So looking at the injury report in this one, the Raptors have Jakob Poeltl listed as questionable. I don't even know if he's listed as questionable. RJ Barrett continues to be out. On the Brooklyn side of things, same injury report as always. No Cam Thomas, no Howard Haysmith. So Toronto has not been great recently. They're just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. Of course, the second leg of back-to-back. 3rd and 4 as well. They lost yesterday to the Boston Celtics. And the Brooklyn Nets are 6-8 against the spread at home. They're 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. A couple things jumped out to me. And this is one of those games where, like, this line opened a lot bigger, right? It was 7.5. It's down to 3.5 now. So money has come in on Brooklyn. But this is an interesting game because I feel like this is a game you really got to do digging to figure out what you want to do in this game. Toronto has already beaten Brooklyn twice this season. So Brooklyn got, I think, double in-season revenge. Let me just confirm that. But I think that's what I saw. I just didn't write it down. Yeah, they already beat them twice this season. Brooklyn covered the second one, getting 11.5. They lost by 11. Lost by 10. And both games went under the total. This total is super low. 216.5, 7 points of 7-point move to the under. And a lot of that has to do with, like I said, Toronto being 7-3 to the under, Brooklyn being 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. Toronto's actually gone under in 4 straight, 5 of their last 6. But here's the kickers to me. So Toronto has actually been really good on the road in general. They're 9-5 straight up and against the spread on the road. Brooklyn's only 3-11 straight up at home. Like I said, 6-8 against the number. I just kind of, and then this is the other thing. Toronto has played the 5th strongest strength of schedule in their last 5 games. Like if we just go through Toronto's games, Toronto's game log, they played against some pretty good opponents. They had Boston, the Bucks don't really count. Miami, New York, Boston. So like these are, some of the cream of the crop out east. And those were their last 5 games. The Brooklyn Nets strength of schedule has actually been the easiest in their last 5 games. So Miami, Milwaukee, Dallas, New Orleans, and Utah are their last 5 games. And they, won 2 of those, covered 3 of the 5. But it makes it tough. What I wrote down in my notes is that if you want Toronto, we got to wait on Jakob Poeltl. Looking back at the game yesterday, and Coach Rajanovic was talking about this in the postgame. Toronto is the team that likes to get out and run. If you're not getting rebounds, you can't get out and run. They were absolutely dominated on the boards yesterday by this Boston team. They were out rebounded. Toronto had 37 rebounds and Boston had 55. Boston had 17 offensive rebounds. Toronto had just 9. So they got dominated on the glass. You got to ask yourself, is Brooklyn a good enough rebounding team? In my opinion, no. I looked into it. They were the 5th. They're the 5th worst rebounding team on the season. So if Toronto is going to be able to get out and run in transition, I do think that they'll be able to score against Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn has been playing a little bit better defense, but again, they have played the easiest strength of schedule. If Jakob Poeltl is in, I'll be looking to play Toronto in this spot, thinking that they can win and cover. I don't think the line's going to move that much with him being in. He's dealing with back spasms, listed as day-to-day. We'll see, what that means for him with them having to travel on the second leg of a back-to-back. It looks kind of easy to take Brooklyn in the spot. And I'm not saying that they're not the right side, but I think if Toronto can have Jakob Poeltl out there, he can play a full allotment of minutes. That's the way that I would look. That's what I wrote in my notes for this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Pretty quick one there. Jojo says, what's up, Chris? Appreciate all the work you do daily. No, I appreciate that, Jojo. Appreciate that for sure, man. Marcus, I pulled the trigger a little bit early. Got Chicago +4. Yeah, I just need Kobe White in, Mark. I will be sending this out to the members, and we'll be on Chicago if Kobe White gets ruled in. Hopefully I can find. And this is a early start time game, too. I forgot to mention that. That Chicago-Atlanta game starts at 3:40. So in about 3 hours and 40 minutes. Exactly. Parlay says quickly over his rebounds and assists at 10.5. Okay. Adrian says he likes the Nets plus the 3.5. Toronto off a loss, but it's Sunday. Real says, good morning, Chris. Can we trust Dinos on the back-to-back, though? I lost with yesterday with fresh legs. I think, you know, the thing is for real is, so I'm gonna go, I'll pull it up real quick, and I'm not gonna share it, but I'll tell you guys what the numbers are. So Raptors have not been great. I agree with that, but they are coming off a loss. Raptors this season are just 1-4 against the spread, 1-4 straight up on the second leg of a back-to-back. This has not been a great spot for them. 4-1 to the under as well. And I actually wanted to play under last night, but couldn't quite get there. So they have not been good in this spot. But again, like I said, you got to ask yourself about Toronto being able to rebound the basketball. The Brooklyn Nets are, again, they are the 5th worst rebound percentage team in the NBA. Only teams worst rebounding is Atlanta, Indiana, Washington, Milwaukee, and Sacramento. The Boston Celtics, on the other hand, are 16th in rebound rate. And I feel like they've gotten better over the last few games. Let me just look at the last 10. So Boston is Boston's number 8 in rebound percentage over their last 10 games. I think they had a big part to do with it yesterday, for real. Like, I don't know. That's just how I think about it. No, if Jakob Poeltl doesn't play in this game, one of the best looks you may be able to take in this game, and this is my opinion, of course, might be on Nicholas Claxton to go over his boards. Do we have Nicholas Claxton rebound lines? Yes, we do. They are 8.5. Toronto's not a good rebounding team without him. You can't start Mikhailuk against him. Like, Claxton should be able to dominate the glass. He's over his 8.5 boards in, it looks like, 4 of his last 5 games. He had 9 against Utah, 11 against New Orleans, 10 against Dallas. He had a 3 rebound game against the Bucks, but he also only played just 26 minutes because they blew the Bucks out by 30. And then in his last game against Miami, 18 rebound chances, he finished with 12. So yeah, I think without Jakob Poeltl on the floor, it's not a good rebounding team. I thought about this earlier, I just didn't write it down. Nicholas Claxton over his 8.5 boards. If Jakob Poeltl doesn't play, I'm probably gonna make that play too. I gotta do a little bit more research, but I know that Toronto's not a good rebounding team on the second leg of a back-to-back with travel too. This makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Brooklyn on last possessions under a bucket. They cannot get buckets. I think Toronto defense will help. Okay, Brian says Chicago +5. I'm gonna ride with you. I didn't bet it, Brian. I didn't bet it. I want to make sure Kobe White's in first. Toronto back-to-back plus travel to New York, 3.5 point spread. This is weird. Nets rested at home. I like the spot for the Nets. That makes a lot of sense. Adrian, I can understand that. I would just argue that Toronto's a lot better with Jakob Poeltl. I would argue that Toronto will want to win after losing to Boston, I think, twice in the last week and a half. And I would also argue that Brooklyn's played the easiest strength of schedule in their last 5 games. That's the arguments that I could poke in, and that's why I didn't play the game. Sano says Toronto's 2 off a loss. It's 2-9 against the spread. Yeah, when they lose, they keep losing. I'm not betting Brooklyn though. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, you know what? Real quick, I never do this, but it's a nice little pause break. I'm gonna hydrate. I want y'all just to do me a favor. If you're somebody that hit the like button and you forgot to do it, hit the like button for me. Just a gentle reminder. If you're new and this is your first time watching the show, make sure you guys are subscribe. And let's keep going. All that good stuff helps the algorithm though. Kobe White upgraded to probable. All right, boom. I'm in now. Let's pause the show for a second. Let's go back to this screen. Let's pause the show for a second. Kobe White is going to play. I'm going to try to find a 5.5, and I will be on. I'm expecting this total to go up too. And I will be finding a 5.5 and making a play live on the show. DraftKings, plus 115 looks like it's the best number. DraftKings allows me to upload pretty quickly, and it is dropping down to 5 now. The 5.5 is starting to move. Atlanta. Oh man, DraftKings just took it completely off the board, bro. Oh, they know too. All right, so that's gone. BetMGM got a 5.5. It's juice. I'll just take the 5, honestly. DraftKings took that thing down quick. What? All right, yeah. I'll just play the 5. FanDuel took the game completely off too. Looks like Caesar got 5 at minus 115. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, it's down to 4.5 on BetMGM now. Yeah, I'm gonna just go to Caesars. All right, so I'm going to Caesars. I'm gonna bet Chicago plus the 5. They got it locked up too, man. You got to be kidding me, bro. Let's see. Let's go to Bet365. My fault. I wasn't expecting this to be this difficult of a process. Actually, most of the time I can log into one book and make the bet. All right, I got a plus 5. Never mind. Should just change to a 4.5. I really want the 5. This is crazy. All right, let me see if I can catch one of these slow moving books. I'm going to Bet Rivers. Yeah, Bet Rivers got a 5 plus 109. I'm going half unit. I'm gonna have unit. Maybe get a better number live. So it's Sunday. I'm not gonna go super crazy. And it's now plus 1 minus 115. So let me send that out real quick to the members. Plus 5 on Bet Rivers. I would play it down to 4.5, but 5 is a key number in the NBA, as you guys know. Let's see. All right, that is in. My apologies. That took a little longer than I thought. But we got action. All right, let's keep moving. Next game up is the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. So injury report in this one, we have Davion Mitchell listed as questionable. He was downgraded to out in that last game against Boston a couple nights ago, and then Andrew Wiggins is also listed as questionable. Tyler Hero remains out. Jovic is out. Miami's a little short-handed. And then on the Knicks side of things, they should be pretty healthy. Miles McBride is and Landry Shamet continue to be out. Now, Miami has not been great recently, right? Just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. The New York Knicks have been great. 13-2 against the spread at home. JaXon mentioned a lot of it, but the cup hangover, ATS-wise, is real. And I wanted to go back and look at this last night, but I was too tired to do so. After I got done with all the Christmas party stuff, but I wanted to look at teams like next 5 games after coming off a cup win, just to see how well they do ATS wise. And that's something I'll write down and I'll do later. But I think that could be like a fade angle. Like these teams can win the game. We saw the Knicks win against the Pacers, even though Brunson had to hit that game-winning 3-pointer, and we cashed with the Indiana Pacers plus the 4.5. But even in the next game, they end up losing to the 76ers. That was a scheduled loss, maybe second leg of back-to-back 3rd and 4. Now they get one day off and they got Miami, a fired-up Miami team that's already beaten them twice this season. They played 3 times. The Knicks did get 1. 2 of the 3 have gone under the total as well. I look at Miami though, man. Miami last 2 wins came against the Nets and the Clippers, and they have 5 straight non-covers. I don't know. I don't really want to bet against the Knicks at the crib with a healthy roster coming off a loss. That's the way I kind of see the game. I didn't really do a whole bunch of digging into it. I just think Miami's struggling. The line has come down a little bit from 8 down to 7. Let's just look at the Knicks this season off a loss. 5-2 straight up, 4-3 against the number, winning by about 4 points per game. If they're at home, they're perfect 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread, winning by about 12 points per game. They beat the Bulls in this spot by 12. They beat the Heat by 8, and they beat the Hornets by 15. So I kind of lean Knicks. I know JaXon likes the Knicks as well. I kind of lean Knicks in this game. That's my thought process. But I do got a little bit more digging to do, if I'm being completely honest. This is one of the games I had the least amount of notes on. More of a field spot for me. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. NFL play probably, maybe towards the end of the show. Hard Rock limits me, PZ. I can put like $10 down on Hard Rock. Sometimes $7.50. It's atrocious, man. I try to take them off my eye screen because I don't even want to see what odds they got. I do see the Knicks moving back from 7 to 7.5 too. So a little bit of money coming back in on the Knicks. Bam over his rebounds and assists at 11.5. Parlay J says without Davion Mitchell, that makes a lot of sense. And I think you kind of need Davion and Wiggins, who are key rotational pieces, especially if you don't have Tyler Hero. I feel like that makes the bench a lot more depleted, in my opinion. So yeah, maybe a look towards Jaime Jaquez over his points or something like that if Wiggins and Davion Mitchell don't play, because he'll get a lot more usage. But yeah, I don't really got a lot in this game. All right, next one. Let's keep going. Rockets and the Kings. I did want to mention this one briefly, just because I kind of got a theory on this game. So we look at the injury report on the Houston side of things. They have Tari Eason listed as questionable, which who knows if he's going to play. Of course, Houston's playing second leg of back-to-back. No Dorian Finney-Smith, no Fred VanVleet. On the Sacramento Kings side of things, pretty much same injury report. Zach LaVine out, Sabonis out, Drew Eubanks out. And they can submit their injury report late as well because both of these teams are playing second leg of back-to-back. So Houston has been really good on the road. They're 10-5 against the spread on the road. This is back-to-back off the big win against Denver last night. Sacramento is 3-9 against the spread at home. This is the worst ATS team, I think, at home. The worst net rating team at home as well. They're also 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've lost 5 in a row, 9 of their last 10. Only 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. I just said that. And 7-3 to the under. So offensively, they really, really struggled. All 3 of the Kings games playing unrested this season have been 13-point losses. 2 of the 3 have actually been 30-point losses. And they're 2-9 against the spread at home. They lose by average of 14 points per game. Now, the only reason you're saying all that, well, Chris, why didn't you bet Houston then? Houston already beat this team early this season by like 20. And, they did all that in the second half. I think it was the third quarter specifically. Sacramento's the worst offensive rated team in the league last 10 games. They're the second worst offensive rated team in the league. Last 10 games, they're the worst offensive rated team. Last 5 games, they're the worst offensive rated team. They scored 93 points last night against the Portland Trailblazers, who are not great defensively on the road. Houston also plays at the 6th slowest pace in the league. Last 5 games, they're the 3rd slowest pace team in the league. And Sacramento 7-1-1 to their team total under when they're home dogs this season. 3-1 to their team total under when they're playing unrested. So I say all that to say I wanted the best Sacramento team total under. I missed the best of the line. Last night it was 108.5. I think it's down to 104.5. And that's a little bit too low, being that Houston, is coming off a super big win. Could be a little bit of a flat spot. But if the way that Sacramento's been scoring the basketball lately and the way that Houston plays so slow, that's what it should mean. Now, when you look at Houston on the second leg of a back-to-back, which I'll actually pull that up and show you guys. I'll go over to the Money Baller really quickly and let you guys see what I saw. There are links in the description if you guys are new for all of the sports betting resources that I use. Money Baller being one of them. You can get a 20% off your first month when you sign up. So we look at Houston on the second leg of back-to-backs. It's actually right here. Houston is just 1-2 against the spread. They are 3-0 to the over and 2-1 to their team total over. Their opponents are actually 3-0 to their team total over. So this was interesting to me. So I wanted to do a little bit more digging on this specifically And what I found was that when the Rockets are playing their second leg of back-to-back games so far this season, the first one actually came against because I remember most of these spots. I'm sorry, it's only 2 times too. The first one came against the Jazz, and this was right after they had beat the Jazz already. Highly unmotivated spot. They had just beat the Jazz by 20. They ended up losing this game by 8. And then the second one on the list was against the Mavericks. They were laying 6.5 in Dallas. Dallas was, I think this was like one of the games Dallas started to turn it around. But it's important. Context is everything. Houston was actually playing 5th game in 7 nights against the Mavericks in the spot, and they ended up losing the game and not covering the spread. I ended up losing that game by 13. I kind of feel like they can take the momentum from, the last game and, just roll it over to this game. So I kind of want to bet Houston. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that, let me stop sharing this. I think that Steven Adams is going to get ruled out because he has not played in the second leg of a back-to-back so far this season. And I think the Houston Rockets are not as good defensively because they're not as good of a rebounding team without Steven Adams out there. Now, Steven Adams played 25 minutes yesterday. He only averages 21 minutes on the season. He has not played in any back-to-back so far this season. So I am expecting him to get ruled out. I think that's one of the reasons why this line has not moved a lot. It's actually a little bit of Kings money coming in because it opened at 12. It's down to 11.5 on DraftKings. It is up 12.5 on BetMGM, but a little bit of money's coming on the under, on the Kings and towards the under, and that makes all the sense in the world. Kings are not a great offensive team. Total has come down 4 points. So if I'm betting, I'll tell you guys what I'm betting, and I already bet this too. I bet. Let me see if I can just get it pulled up for you guys real quick. I think so because I think that Steven Adams won't play in the second leg of a back-to-back. To me, Amin Thompson makes the most sense. I bet Amin Thompson in this spot, specifically on his points plus his rebounds plus assists. So you can see he's over in just 5 of his last 10 games. If we zoom out for the full season, he does average right at 12.5, which is where his number is today. He gets a very, very easy matchup, in my opinion. So I sent this to the members. If we look at the head-to-head, the last time that they played earlier this season, he did have 19 rebounds and assists in that game. And this, to me, it just makes too much sense. I think, looking at Kevin Durant yesterday, like doing all the John with Bruce Brown, like he may not do as much in this game. And the other thing that was significant, in my opinion, was just how many minutes, Amin Thompson plays. You can see down here, dude's averaging 37 minutes, pretty much 37 minutes per season, per game this season. And even if we go here and we go to filters and we look at his games where he's played in back-to-backs, he is under in both games, but this was against Utah, after they just smoked him, and this was a 5th game in 7 night spot. So, but what's more important, in my opinion, is the minutes. Still averaging 35 minutes per game this season when he's unrested. He's over in 5 of his 9 games, averaging closer to 14 rebounds and assists this season. Versus teams that are in the bottom 10 in the league as far as assists and rebounds allowed. The Kings are 25th in rebounds and assists allowed. Also, like I said, not expecting Steven Adams to play. Without Steven Adams on the floor, Amin Thompson's actually over his rebounds. And he's averaging 9.5 rebounds without Steven Adams on the floor this season. So if we just go to his rebounds specifically, I just could put them together though. You can see he's averaging 7.16. If we go with games without Steven Adams, who I am expecting to be ruled out, so I'll try to get ahead of this a little bit. You can see he's over in 3 to 4, averaging 9.5 boards. So I put them together. Kings, you can see here, bottom 5 rebounding team. I think Amin Thompson plays a lot today. I think he's what I like a little bit more than the actual spread in this game. But I did want to get there with the Rockets. I know it's a little bit of a letdown spot, potentially. I still think they can get the job done. Kings are just that bad. They didn't cover yesterday against Portland. So that's my thought process there. Let's see. What are you guys thinking here? Are the Wizards still at automatic fade after a win? Yes, Brian. I'll talk about that in just a second. In my opinion, but I mean, we'll see. What up, Fahrenheit? Appreciate you for tapping in, my brother. Says good morning to the chat. Reminding people to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, become a member, buy some merch. Appreciate you, Fahrenheit. All right, let's get to the next one. Last one is the Spurs and the Wizards. So line in this one opened at I think this was, what did I write in my notes last night? I wrote 15 and a half, but it looks like it opened at 14 and a half. It's up to 16 and a half on DraftKings. A lot of money coming in on San Antonio in this spot. Total is coming down from 240 down to 237 and a half. So as far as the injury report goes, San Antonio, I don't think, they don't have anybody on the injury report. And then the Wizards have Bilal listed as questionable. Cam Whitmore listed as questionable. Corey Kispert listed as out. The Wizards are also playing second leg of back-to-back after stomping the Memphis Grizzlies yesterday in that game. So I'm looking at Washington, just 3-8 against the spread on the season. Second leg of back-to-back with travel. They're 3-0 to the under when they're playing unrested this season. They're only averaging 109 points. So immediately I want to go to their team total under. But the Spurs have actually been an over team when they've been laying double digits. They're 5-1 to the over, I think, when they lay double digits this season. San Antonio has won 3 straight in the head-to-head matchup, but Washington has covered 3 of the last 4. Washington's also 0-4, both straight up and against the spread when they're coming off a game where they won their previous game as a dog. Just 2-6 against the spread if they've covered in their most recent game as well. So Washington has not been a consistent team, as we all know. The way I bet the game, though, and I'm not pulling this back up on the screen because I'm tired of toggling between the two windows, but excuse me, I bet Wemby over his 18.5 points. The read's just way too perfect for me. There is blowout potential, of course, because it's a super big number. But I'll just show you guys what I saw when I bet on Wemby. I remember the game last season when Wemby played against the Spurs and he had 50. And that's something that I think could happen in this game as well. Like, I don't even know if it's going to be competitive enough. But Wemby's listed at 18.5. He gets so many of his points. He gets 18% from the free throw line. The Wizards, of course, bottom 10 free throw percentage. He gets another 18% in transition. Wizards give up the most points in transition. He scores a lot. He scores about 46% of his points in the restricted area. Wizards bottom 5 in points allowed in the restricted area. Like, I could go on and on. It's just the perfect matchup for Wemby. So one of the things I looked at was because Wemby is, of course, on a minutes restriction. He played 21 minutes against Atlanta, which maybe he could have played more, but they ended up beating Atlanta by like 40. So he didn't need to play more. Against the Wizards, he only played 17 minutes. That was the most recent game. They also blew the Wizards out. They won the game by 25. So this one, I think, he only played 17 minutes in that game and still finished with 15 points. So I expect a few more minutes for him today. Against the Knicks in the Championship Cup game, he played 18 minutes. And then, of course, against OKC, he played 21. So I looked at Wemby this season when he's played less than 25 minutes and he scored, he's over his 18.5 points in 2 of the 3 games. And those were the most recent recent games. Atlanta, he scored 26 and OKC scored 22. And that was the Cup game. I mean, he gets a very, very good defense. Very easy, soft defense. I like Wemby today. I bet him over his 18.5 points in this spot. Also highly considered Dylan Harper over his 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists, just because I think he's going to get the cleanup minutes when De'Aaron Fox and Stephen Castle are out of the game. His minutes have been extremely consistent as well, outside of the Atlanta game where he played just 18. Again, they won that game by a million, so he didn't necessarily have to play the most minutes in that game. But Dylan Harper has been somebody. I mean, it's another just great play type. He likes to score in transition. He likes to get downhill, score in the paint. He's also a pretty decent three-point shooter. So just combining his points, rebounds, and assists, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense. 21.5 was the number. I think it's still a number. Yeah, 21.5 minus 120 on BetMGM is something that I also have written down on my short list. I didn't bet it yet, but that's what I like in this one. Just thinking that the minutes will be there for him. And they've been up, even though, they have everybody back. His minutes have absolutely been up. So if I'm expecting them to play about 15 minutes, I'm expecting them to be able to get 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists in what's going to be a fast-paced game between these two teams. So that's my thought process on that one. Y'all just listening to me chat. Nobody saying anything. Fahrenheit says he likes Trey, 8 assists. Khalil Ware, 10 plus rebounds. Cat, 11 boards. Mitchell Robinson, 9 rebounds. Okay. Little rebound, little parlay. I don't know if that's a parlay or those are straights. But Trey to get 8 assists. He lighter in it too against Chicago. Okay. Cat to get 10 boards. 11 rebounds as well. Mitchell Robinson to get 9. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson been rebounding. And that's it. The only game I didn't go through was the Minnesota and Milwaukee game. Spread opened at 12. It's kind of still at 12. Is it a letdown spot for Minnesota after beating OKC outright? Probably so. Milwaukee's just 6-9 against the spread at home. Just 4-6 against the spread in their last 10. Milwaukee's actually won 3 straight, covered 7 of their last 10 against the Minnesota Timberwolves specifically. They have been absolutely atrocious on the road so far this season. So I couldn't bet the game. Just don't trust the Timberwolves. Maybe live because they're losing the game outright or something at halftime. Don't expect the Bucks to be able to hang around. They are 1-6 straight up as road dogs. They lose by about 9 points per game, 5-2 to the under as well, which is why we see this total continue to drop. Open 220, actually going up 222.5. I thought I saw it go up 224.5 up to 226.5. So that's probably just money on Minnesota to be able to score. I don't know if Milwaukee's going to come to the party. If 5-2 to the under, the game's average about 227 points. Really just depending upon the Timberwolves. Which Timberwolves team are you going to get? The team that, loses outright or the team that, plays against OKC like they did in the last game? They can win and cover this number. This season so far as a double-digit home favorite, though, they're just 3-2 against the number. They're 5-0 to the under in these games as well. So just take that information, do what it is as you please. The 2 things that I bet are Wemby over his points and Amin Thompson over his 12.5 rebounds and assists. Trying to get ahead of that line a little bit before Steven Adams gets ruled out, in my opinion. Also, I did bet Chicago plus the 5. But that was already on the short list, as you guys can see. So I'll change that. If you guys are new, you know that the plays that are green are the official plays that I do have my hard-earned currency on already. And the plays in red are the ones that I didn't bet. So I think that's it. Chicago, I didn't get 5.5, though. I got 5 official play. Toronto, Brooklyn. Oh, Nicholas Claxton. I talked about him over his rebounds. Over 8.5 rebounds if Jakob Poeltl doesn't play. So that's why that's in red. We'll see if Poeltl does play in the second leg of it back-to-back. I do lean probably Knicks. I got to do a little bit more work on that game. And Houston, I really want to get there -12. I think they can beat Sacramento again by 20. So those are the ways that I'm thinking about betting today. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If so, do me a favor, hit the like button for me on the way out. If you're interested in the way that I handicap the games, the resources are all linked in the description of the video. And that'll be it for the show, man. Catch you guys tomorrow. There are 7 games for tomorrow as well. Lines are starting to open up. You guys enjoy the Sunday, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one.